Hey everyone, it's English 101. Wanted to talk to you about our next assignment, which is an evaluation essay. It's really straightforward and kind of fun. I mean, I haven't had any complaints over the years about them. And it's standard, um, a college composition topic. It's called an evaluation essay. Basically, you're going to pick something or someone and evaluate them according to what is known as a set list of criteria. The way to wrap your mind around it is to think about um, employee evaluations. Everybody in their job, part time or full time, has at least one evaluation a year, often two. And so it's a checklist of what makes a good employee a good employee. And so, that would be punctual, um, kind, courteous, customer service skills, works well with others, and a whole list of maybe, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that make a good employee. And you want to check on every box to say that you are a good employee. And that's the way it works. And then that's how you evaluate an employee. An evaluation essay is more evidence driven as opposed to a review, which is more opinionated. An evaluation is pretty cut and dry. You have to have the evidence to say that a movie is a good movie based on a set list of criteria, or that a car is a good car, again, based on a set list of criteria. Um, and that's a universal set list of criteria. In other words, reasons why this car is a good car. For instance, a Honda is a good car, a Civic or an Accord. They're a good car because the pricing is fair. Reliability, brand is important. Honda has built an incredibly durable and long-lasting um, brand with attached to it is integrity. Since 1980, I think they entered the American auto market. It's and other reasons. It's stylish. Those cars, they have good resale value, and you could go on and on. You could come up with about 8 or 10 reasons why you want to buy a Honda, as a for instance. Um, and you could come up with similar reasons for a Toyota and so forth. Or if you're a Chevrolet person, that kind of thing. Set list of criteria, and then mention in your intro, which can only you only need 5 or 6 sentences in your intro and the same amount in your conclusion. Your interior paragraphs are typically 8 to 12 sentences because that's where the meat is. That's where the evidence is. You got to bring it on and prove it with examples in the interior paragraphs. In the intro, you can start off. For instance, if you're evaluating a car, you can start off by saying there are many choices for automotive transportation around the world. Many cars have built, auto manufacturers have built durable, long-lasting brands, honest brands over the years, such as Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota, and so forth, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and others. Now, if one is looking for a um, a car that is not too expensive, like Mercedes-Benz and BMW, then Honda is one of the best choices, specifically the Accord or Civic. And although other lines, are offered under the Honda brand, um, and it's known for its durability, pricing, and stylish features. Therefore, Honda Accord, or for instance, I'll focus on Honda Civic because I own one. Honda Civic is the car. Therefore, the Honda Civic is a car that displays all three of those um, uh, reasons why to buy, or a set list of criteria, and others as well. And then that's the intro paragraph or something along those lines in 5 or 6 sentences. And then, of course, the three things you pick out of a set list of criteria, because you come up with easily 10 things why to buy a certain brand of car. Then focus on three, and those will be your three interior paragraphs. And you just transfer them, boom, start talking about the first one, which might be pricing, the second one, which might be style, the look of it, the wheels, and so forth, the seating, and then the third might be durability or reliability. Um, well, if you choose those three, but there are other ones too, like resale value and other things as well. So most students will evaluate a movie, a car, a restaurant, a video game, or a musical artist. I noticed those five. You can do any one of those, that's true. Probably easiest is a restaurant or a car, I'm thinking. Um, the Some students, though, in the past, one young lady evaluated a line of makeup, and she came up with 6 set list of criteria or reasons why she always gets that same makeup. And then she focused on 3, as I mentioned, in the interior of the body of the essay. And then she did a good job. I didn't know anything about makeup, but she proved that that's why she goes after that one particular brand of makeup. And then I remembered that my mother did the same thing. It was always the same lipstick and powder over decades, really. And then it kind of clicked. I got it. You can evaluate, for instance, New Orleans or the French Quarter or a festival. We have a ton of festivals all the time. Every weekend there's a festival somewhere in the region. You can evaluate your neighborhood. There are many, I would say over 50 named neighborhoods in Orleans Parish, for instance. And why do you live in that neighborhood, like Broadmoor, Lakeview, Lake Terrace, and all the many others. You can evaluate really anything you want, actually, that is deemed worthy of evaluation. You don't necessarily need in-text citations for this essay unless you evaluated, for instance, a brand of toothpaste that brightens and whitens that you always use. Well, you would have to cite the chemistry studies, because toothpaste is chemistry, basically. And then you'd have to cite those studies. But if you don't want to go in that direction, I'm not worried about citations for this one. I have up in the module an evaluation that I wrote about Muriel's on the Square, my favorite restaurant in Jackson Square, on Jackson Square, and I didn't use in-text citations because 5-paragraph essay. I wrote it myself, and because I based it on my experience at Muriel's, and so I didn't need. I was not citing a food critic, and I was not citing someone else who had eaten there. It was all about my experience, and I focused on service, the food selection, and I focused on historic setting. You can also look at, for instance, in a restaurant, those criteria. You can add to that convenience. Maybe it's a neighborhood restaurant over a chain restaurant. You might like that better. And there are many reasons to go to one restaurant. And also, by the way, you can make a negative evaluation if you want. I know one student did that a few years ago. She wrote a negative evaluation about a restaurant. It didn't meet the set list of criteria, and focusing on the 3 from the set list, it didn't meet those 3 important reasons or set list of criteria, and so she gave it a negative evaluation, which you can do. You can go in the opposite direction and go negative evaluation. It's up to you. Anyway, that's going to be our assignment. It's going to be due, unless I change the date on it, it'll be Sunday, October 15th, because I'm in my office today and on the weekend, and it's going to be October 1st tomorrow, and so I'll post this on Monday, October 2nd with the evaluation essay module. If you have any questions, you can email me at docall@dcc.edu. Thanks, and keep your eyes open for Canvas updates, and I'll put a discussion up there too in quiz form.